After the first period of 40 days and 40 nights, Moses comes down off the mountain and hears and sees the people worshiping an idol cast in the shape of a calf. He threw down the 2 stone tablets, breaking them to pieces before their eyes. This is an iconic moment in the Bible. The 2 stone tablets being thrown down and breaking into pieces before their eyes matches the 9/11 imagery of the 2 towers collapsing into a pile of rubble before the eyes of everyone with an internet connection. And because it's such an iconic story, it matches with the magnitude of 9/11. Moses then took the calf and burned it with fire. Then he crushed it into powder as fine as dust, we are told in Deuteronomy chapter 9. Then he threw the dust into a stream that flowed down the mountain and made the Israelites drink it. This matches with the toxic dust cloud of 9/11. In our video on Revelations chapter 17, we showed the prostitute represents New York City. In that chapter, she holds a golden cup filled with the abominations and filth of her adulteries. And we are told the inhabitants of the earth were intoxicated with the wine of her adulteries. I can now identify the filth inside the golden cup as the toxic dust cloud, and the people of New York City had become intoxicated by drinking in this filth. It's interesting that the word toxic is included within intoxicated. Some of the filth within the dust cloud included heavy metals, cement, asbestos, glass fibers, carcinogens, even human hair. Some 4,700 people have died as a result of breathing in the toxic dust, which is more than the 3,000 killed on the day. Unfortunately, thousands still suffer serious medical conditions because of the toxic dust. So in the Moses story, about 3,000 people were killed on the day. This obviously matches with the 9/11 deaths. When I first set out to make this video, my main focus was the 3,000 killed on 9/11. But I have to admit, the September 11th date that Moses came down from the mountain with the second set of stone tablets and the toxic dust prophecy have both shaken me. I did not expect that. One last thing. These 9/11 prophecies all happened on the day Moses came down from the mountain with the first set of stone tablets. It started at the end of the first 40 days and 40 nights. So I looked up this verse in the Bible which reads, "At the end of the 40 days and 40 nights, the Lord gave me the 2 stone tablets." This verse kicks off the day all these 9/11 prophecies happen, right? So where is this verse found? It's found in, wait for it, Deuteronomy chapter 9, verse 11. Yes, you heard right, Deuteronomy 9:11. Now this could be a coincidence, sure, it could. However, given we've found 4 other prophecies which are deadly accurate, this would be a very lucky coincidence. But what do you think? Please let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Over to you, Angelina.
Thank you, and excellent work. So to recap, the second coming of Moses down off the mountain happened on the morning of September 11th, being the 11th day of the 7th month. Moses' face was radiant with the glory of God. Moses is therefore a shadow of the second coming of Christ. 9/11 is a massive sign of the second coming. It shows the second coming is not a flash in the pan event. It's a process, and that process is underway as we speak. You can verify the calculations yourself by using a calculator and adding up the number of days throughout the story. We have given you the Bible verses containing the number of days. Secondly, God spoke out the 10 commandments to Moses and the people on the day of Pentecost, being 50 days after the Passover. This correlates with the book of Acts chapter 2, where God poured out his Holy Spirit on the day of Pentecost. In the Moses story, God gives the law. In the Acts story, God gives his Spirit. The book of Acts story is also a 9/11 prophecy in which 3,000 people were baptized. We made a video about this. Throwing down the stone tablets and breaking them into pieces matches the imagery of the 2 towers collapsing into a pile of rubble in the eyes of not just the nation, but the whole world. Burning the golden calf in fire, crushing it into fine dust, and making the Israelites drink it is a prophecy about the toxic dust cloud, where 4,700 people have died since 9/11 as a result of drinking in the filth of the dust. So more people have died from the toxic dust than were killed on the day. In the Moses story, about 3,000 people were killed on the day, which matches the almost 3,000 deaths on 9/11. And finally, the Bible verse that pinpoints the day of these 9/11 prophecies, which is at the end of the 40 days and 40 nights, is Deuteronomy chapter 9, verse 11. Deuteronomy 9:11. While this could be a coincidence, given the other 4 prophecies, which are deadly accurate, Deuteronomy 9:11 is more likely than not to be included in this cluster of prophecies. So that's like 5 or 6 prophecies in the Moses story. Unfriggin' believable.
I know, the hits just keep on coming. Boom, bam.
Oomph.
Hey, kupow, bang.
Choco, capa, chino.
All right, I need a drink. Do that thing you do, you know, the drinks train, all these bottles appear. Let's go.
Ha, the drinks train, yes. Noise, I'll have a shot of tequila, please.